Come land on your back with your knees bent. And as you land in onto your back, just feel the sense of your body right now. So just what is body? What is the sense of you right now in this moment? How is that in your body? What do you sense? How do you sense your body in this moment? Welcome, Augustina. Welcome, Sharon. So nice. So as you land, just begin to, it's almost like make a list of 3 things that are the most obvious to you right now. So what are the 3 things that when you notice body or become aware of your body, what are the things that really stand out or become really obvious to you?
Powering on. Lying in.
Let me see this. Good. Super. Sorry, just 1 or 2 technical issues going on there. Super. So when you check in with body, what do you notice? What are the most obvious things for you? For me, always weight is something. As soon as I check in, I go, oh, I'm heavy, and there is weight in my body. And it's like this deep reassurance to me. And then as you settle, as you land, 1 second. Really notice what else comes to you. What is your noticing of your body? Maybe the temperature of the day today is very obvious to you. Maybe the feeling of your clothing. Maybe the fact that you had your dinner or you didn't have your dinner. Whatever it might be, really just be aware and really acknowledge it. Just go, oh yeah, this is a physical sensation of this moment in my body. And just check in with it. You just know it, feel it. So you're lying on your back, your knees are bent, and you just find the sense of your body. Can you feel what you ate or drank last in the memory of your mouth right now? Can you feel into your belly the sense of what you ate or how it is to digest that in this moment? Can you feel the action or the non-action you took today and what that feels like in your body right now? Are you lying in the sun? Are you lying in the shade? Is there a sense of ease as you lie here, or is there discomfort as you lie here? There could be many, many different layers of you, many different parts of you speaking in different ways. And so if you draw a line down through the very center of your body, straight down, whatever center is to you, your midline. How do you draw a line down through your midline? And then compare the right side of your body. So check in the right side of your face, your right shoulder, your right arm, the chest, the rib cage, the waist, the hip, the leg, the calf, the foot. So really feel right side. And then feel into the left side. So left side of your face, left side of your shoulder, arm, hand, rib cage, belly, waist, buttock, thigh, calf, ankle, foot. And how do they compare size-wise? Are the 2 sides of your face the same size? Are your 2 shoulders the same size? Are your 2 arms the same length, the same weight? Are your shoulders the same contact with the floor? Or does one have more contact, or does it seem bigger or broader or more up or more down? And how do you sense the back of the rib cage, the lower back in this moment? You know, the buttocks, the backs of your thighs, the backs of your knees, your calves, your heels. How do they feel when you compare one side to the other side? One side to the other side. So it's almost like spot the difference in your own body. You know, when I feel a sense of length on one side and I compare it to the other side, I go, yeah, that's a bit different there. When I feel a sense of size on one side, I compare it to the other side, or a sense of contact to the floor, and then I compare it to the other side. So continuously tracking and comparing and checking in and comparing, just trying to gauge how do they compare to each other, the left and the right of my body. And then how is the shape of me? Are both of my shoulders rounded forward, or is one rounded forward, the other one rounded back? Are both of my hands facing in the same direction, or do they have slightly different directions that they face in? Are my feet pointing in similar directions, or do they have slight different rolling or weight dispersal through them? I'm just noticing, you know, it's like, you know, when you're driving a car for years, you don't notice the weird quirkiness in your car. You just think that's how every car is. And then you sit into somebody else's car and it's really strange because there's all these differences, you know. It's the same thing in our body. We're so used to this that we live in. We really don't know that one leg is shorter than the other and one shoulder is forward and one ear is dropped. We don't feel that anymore. Just bringing awareness is an amazing thing. So nice. So from all the different sensations that you feel right now, just track something or find something that feels like wellness right now. Something just yum in you. Something that when you feel into it, when you check in with it, you go, oh, you know, that's really nice. You might find it very easily. You might have to look. Just find a sense of nice somewhere in your body. Nice, cool. So come to lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor, which I think all of you have. And then just bring your hands to rest onto your lower belly. And then begin to draw your spine backwards and really almost like pour your back backwards onto the floor, like melt it into the floor like chocolate. And then arching, allow yourself to unglue or unstick or lift your lower back off the floor, keeping your bum on the floor. To really feel how would you really get your spine or let your spine be really juicy as it drops down. And then gently arch. You can breathe into your belly as you inhale, and you can flatten back as you exhale. So see what suits you. Really just tracking the movement and the sense of delicious belly, wonderful spine, really smooth, awesome, beautiful movement in your body. How would you make that movement connected? How would you hear the deep of your body as you arch? And as you flatten down, and as you arch, and flattening down. Great, one more time. Arching, really delicious, feeling your belly rise, feel your bum pushing into the floor, and then flattening down deeply into the floor. Nice, drop your knees over towards the right. As they go, feel the way the weight is traveling. You're falling towards the right, there's a drag through the left waist, left rib cage. And then pull your lower back onto the floor, and then drop your knees down towards the left. And as they fall towards the left, notice where the patterns and the sensations are. For me, it pulls down through my rib cage, through my waist, into my leg on the right side, and come all the way back up to center. And then just travel from side to side, down towards the right, and then back up to center. And what you're tracking is the way the weight is traveling across the back of your body. So it's traveling from the right side, back through the center, and towards the left side. And also the way the rib cage and the belly are being pulled and lengthened, and there's shapes and patterns emerging as you drop from side to side. So it's not really about the knees dropping from side to side, it's about how the torso and the sacrum and buttocks are really moved and lengthened as we do this. You're just dropping your knees from one side to the other side. And again, you're really trying to be yummy into your body, so be really kind. You know, it's really so nice to be kind. It's so kind. It's like, so just be kind. Like really feel like you're being really awesome with yourself as you drop your knees from side to side. And you're really paying attention and listening to yourself. And just really appreciate that you like being listened to. Nice. Come all the way back up to center. So from here, draw your right knee up onto your chest and squeeze the right knee in towards you. And as you hug your right knee in, just feel the sensations of this. So every time there's different sensations, and all we're doing is, it's almost a bit like, you know, it's like we're trying to feel and be in our bodies. And to do so, we create different sensations that highlight different parts of us. So before, when we were just sitting and standing around earlier, it's like, where is my hip? Now you're like, oh, I know where my hip is. So squeezing your right knee deeply towards you and hugging it down towards your chest. So your fingers are interlocked around your right shin and you're hugging it deeply down. Nice. And then slowly release your right leg and let your right leg float out until it reaches out and floats just above the floor. And so you're stretching long into that right leg and your heel has surged away. And then bend your right knee, pull your right knee up towards you, pull it and hug it in. And feel like you're dancing really gracefully with your leg as you stretch your leg out, surge down into your heel, and then bend your knee and pull your knee up towards you. So like liberate your inner ballerina or something. And just feel like you're being really graceful and attentive and yummy in your body as you draw your knee towards you, as you stretch your leg away. So really feeling into your body every time you do this. Nice. Next time your right knee bends up towards you, just pause there, squeeze it in, and then release. Bring your right foot to the floor. Pause there for a moment. Can you feel a difference between the right leg and the left leg? Nice. Bend the left knee, squeeze it up towards you and just hug it deeply down. And just feeling the hip, thigh, the buttock, the belly. How do you surrender to this? Often I feel like I resist it a little bit and then I go, oh, that's right, I have to soften. And I surrender and I deepen. Nice. And then we're going to flow. So stretch your left leg long until it floats just above the floor. The first time, sometimes it can be a bit creaky when you do this. And slowly as you move, things get a little bit juicier. So squeeze your knee up towards you, hug it in, and stretch your leg long. And you're moving very slowly. And as you move slowly, you may notice these little like tremoring or little bobbing motions. Slowly draw your knee up towards you. And as you move slowly, you're trying to iron out those little wobbles. And you're just attention, awareness, connection helps you iron out and become more graceful and fluid into the movement as you squeeze your knee towards you and as you stretch your leg away. Right, one last time. Squeeze your knee towards you, hug it in, and then lower your left foot to the floor. Nice. Stretch your right leg up towards the ceiling, stretch your left leg up towards the ceiling, and just roll out through your ankles into a big circle. So as you roll into the circle, as you really stretch into your feet and roll into your toes, feel what happens in your calves, in your knees, in your lower back and buttocks, how it's all connected. And how would you connect your thighs and your hips a little bit more down into your feet? So for me, I have to kind of push a bit more into my feet and kind of let my legs be a little bit more froggy. And just feel that. How would you really connect your belly, your legs, your thighs, and roll in the other direction if you haven't done that already. And just feel connected. My legs are connected to my belly. Nice. And then bend both knees and squeeze them towards you, hugging them down deeply. And just rock from side to side. Always those things with your feet in the air. It's so exhausting to roll your feet in the air like that. I was really amazed. I'm like, oh yeah, we could just do this for a few minutes. And you can't really. It's like this, I don't know, maybe it's a lack of blood in your feet because they're upside down, or maybe, I don't know, it's just amazing always. And then pushing your elbows into the floor, make steady, gentle circles through the lower back and really feel the yum of the juiciness of you. So you're trying to make the smoothest circle through the tissues, the bones, the structures of the lower back, and you're really trying to feel the different parts, the different layers of your back. And then roll in the other direction, making circles as big or as small as feels like the perfect circle for you. And there's no, we're also different. It's wildly awesome. So find, by listening to yourself, what that is. Every once in a while I'll find myself doing something that's really uncomfortable, and I'm like, why am I doing that? That's because I have an expectation about what it should be. And then I change it and I go, oh, I'm going to be kind and only do the bit that feels really comfortable. That's actually quite amazing. So really allow that you edit movements and you allow yourself to be with movements. Nice. Lower both feet to the floor. And just reach your arms so that your elbows are bent and your elbows are pushing into the floor beside you. Cool. Drop both knees down towards the right. I'm going to do the gliding twist. Slide the left foot to the right foot. Slide the left foot up in the direction of the right knee. And just feel what happens through the waist, through the hip, through the buttock on the left. Keep your left shoulder on the floor. And then gliding back, bring both feet to the floor. And draw your knees back up to center. Drop your knees down towards the left. And then glide right foot to foot, right foot to knee. And then just feel the right hip, right buttock, right side of your waist. And then come all the way back, both feet on the floor, and back up to center. Gliding over towards the right. Glide the left foot, foot to foot, foot to knee. Maybe your knee travels up a little bit more up in the direction of your right ear. And then coming all the way back. And then gliding down towards the left. Right foot glides all the way up. So you're going to glide a few times from side to side. And how would you make it like honey pouring or chocolate melting or deliciousness? How would you make it a really smooth arc of movement as your leg travels up? You may find those little trembly bits, but that's a really good sign. How would you make it really smooth as you drop your knees down to one side and the top leg travels over? And come all the way back up to center. And then drop your knee to the other side and the top leg travels over into a twisting, gliding twist. All the way back. One more time to whatever side you're just about to do. And come all the way back to center. Stretch one leg long. And stretch the other leg long. And have your feet wider than your mat. So there's quite a space between your feet. And then reach your right arm until it's off your mat and over towards the right. And then reach the left arm so it's off your mat and over towards the left. So you're in a big X, a human X. So reach through your right hand and almost like you're trying to reach down along the length of itself. You're not changing the angle of your armpit or your arm in any way. You're just making your arm longer in the direction it's lying in. And then relax your arm and rest it on the floor. I also have to relax my bum when I do that as well. And then reach through the left arm, let it lengthen along itself. And then relax and rest on the floor. Point through the right toes and almost like try and turn off a light switch just beyond your toes. And relax. And then reach through the left leg, reaching, stretching down into your toes. and relax. So reach through all four, both arms, both legs, like this super duper X, and relax. And one more time, super duper X, reach through your fingers, and relax. Nice. So begin to slide your left hand along the floor above your head, and keep gliding your left hand until your left hand comes over towards the right hand. And as I do that, I've actually rolled onto my right hip, and my left shoulder and bum have rolled off the floor. So I'm lying sideways onto my right shoulder, but my left heel is still on the floor. And then roll back, come back into the human X. And then glide the left hand along the floor above your head until it comes over towards the left hand. Push into your right heel and roll over onto your left side. But your right foot, your 2 feet stay where they are. They roll a bit, but they stay where they are. And then come land on the floor with your arms into the X. So again, glide the left hand over towards the right, and maybe keep moving until your left hand is in front of you a little bit more, and there's a long line from your left foot all the way down into your left fingers. And just pause there. And then gliding slowly back. Roll back slowly until you're in your X, lying on the floor. And then glide the right hand over towards the left, and then maybe a little bit more over towards the left. So there's a long line from your right foot all the way down into your right hand. And then come all the way back and come to the floor. Nice. Bend your elbows, bring your arms long beside you. And then bend one knee, bring your foot to the floor. Bend the other knee, bring your foot to the floor. And just have a sense of how the outer shoulders feel right now. So then reach your arms straight out. I have to come off my mat because the window's too close. So reach your arms wide beside you. So your arms are straight out into a cross and both knees are bent. Okay? And then bend your left elbow and bring your left hand to rest to the front of the right shoulder. So it's resting on the meaty part of the front of my right shoulder. And now I'm going to reach with my left hand and bring my left hand to rest onto my right hand. But both of my feet are still flat on the floor. And then travel back until your left hand lands on the front of your right shoulder. And do that a few times, like you're gliding, rubbing down the right arm until your hand lands over the other hand. And then you glide back until your left hand is resting on the front of your shoulder and your left shoulder lands on the floor again. So it's like you're scrubbing that right arm. You can reach a little bit further. If you can go beyond your fingertips, then do. And then glide all the way back until you land on the floor. One more time. See if you can be delicious as you do it. It's like rolling across that right shoulder as you reach with your left hand. And then rolling into that right shoulder as you reach the left hand back towards you. Great. Stretch the left arm long so that both arms are out and across. Bring the right hand to the front of the left shoulder. And then slide the right hand down as far as the left palm. And both feet are still flat on the floor. So I'm not dropping my knees down to the side. My feet are still flat on the floor and the knees are pointing towards the ceiling. And then slide back until your right hand is resting on the top of the left shoulder. And again, slide down. So my right buttock does lift a bit off the floor, but my feet stay flat as I reach down to the hand. And as I slowly roll back to bring my hand to the front of my left shoulder. One more time and be really delicious. So glide your right hand down along the left arm. Feel the rolling into the left shoulder as you do this. And then that gliding and that deep softening and rolling into the left shoulder as you roll back. Nice. Reach both arms wide. They're out into a cross. Your feet are hip distance apart. Actually bring them wider. Bring them mat distance apart. So you should feel the edges of your mat underneath your feet. And then drop both knees down towards the right and turn your head towards the left. Come back up to center, knees to center, nose to center. And then drop both knees down towards the left. Turn your head towards the right. See how you can synchronize the movement as you glide from side to side. So your nose and your knees travel up and they meet in the center and they both land down wide. And then they meet in the center. And then they travel wide. Really noticing how you coordinate the movement of your head and the movement of your knees. Nice. One more time in whatever direction you're going in right now. And come all the way back up to center. Nice. So bring them so that they're hip distance apart, and lift your right foot up and place your right ankle on top of your left knee. And then push your fingertips into the floor and then flatten your lower back into the floor. So you really anchored the lower back down, and now lift the left foot off the floor and let that slowly draw your right knee and right buttock towards you. And then just let your left toes tap the floor. And then again, squeeze your left knee up towards you. So you're doing it only with leg effort. Your arms are long beside you. So tap the floor and traveling up. And really find how you navigate this in softness, in wellness, in juiciness, but also in strength. Like how do you be strong and listening at the same time? How do you stay well in the midst of the effort we have to do this pose? Noticing what you do. When you're up the next time, just rock gently from side to side. As you rock from side to side, it's very different one side to the other. So as I rock towards the left, my right buttock, like it goes whoosh, and I feel the whole side of my right buttock. And then as I travel towards the right, I feel it more in the left belly and the left hip. The front of the body. So notice for you, when I go towards the left, it's the back of the body that engages for me. When I go towards the right, it's the front of the body that engages. So they're very different shapes, the two legs. Nice. Lower your left foot to the floor. Change. Bring your right foot to the floor and lift the left foot up and place it on top of your ankle. Push your fingertips into the floor, flatten your lower back down, and then lift your right foot off the floor and squeeze your knee towards you. You're going to experience the left thigh in a very particular way, and then drop your toe down, let it touch the floor. And again, drawing up, squeeze your knee towards you, and just let it travel up and down, tap, and up and down, really feeling the sense of your bum, the sense of your thigh, the sense of your belly, and your hips will be speaking to you. Nice. Next time you're up, stay up and gently anchoring your elbows into the floor, rock from side to side. So as I travel towards the right, the left buttock speaks to me. And as I travel towards the left, the front of my belly on the right speaks to me. So notice where, often I feel like yoga is a bit like watching fireworks in the sky. It's like it highlights or it enlivens or brings light and sensation into all these amazing places in our bodies. So really notice and appreciate the sense of the buttock, wow, that's so cool, and then the front of your hip, wow, that's amazing. Nice. Come all the way back to center. Lower your right foot to the floor, lower your left foot to the floor, and just drop your knees wide, bringing the soles of your feet together. Flattening down into the lower back. And so we're going to move a little bit rather than stay in this pose. So ever so gently lift your knees up 2 or 3 inches. It doesn't have to be all that much. And anchor your lower back into the floor. So it's not a case of, so your lower back is pushing flat into the floor. It does limit the movement a little bit, but that's okay. And then slowly let your knees drop a little bit out. And then let your knees lift up 2 or 3 inches. And so you're doing these really gentle butterfly flapping of your knees as such. So you're just trying to really listen to how do you rise a little bit. Where does that feel? In the inner thighs, the outside of the knees maybe. And then when you drop down, where does that lengthen? How do you sink into it? How do you feel into the deep of your belly, the deep of the lengthening of you? Next time you drop out, stay dropping. Just dropping, 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 and breathing into your belly as you drop. Nice. Draw your knees towards each other. Squeeze your right knee up onto your chest, hug it in, and pull it down deeply. And then stretch your left leg long, slowly let it lengthen out. So your right knee is up towards you, your left leg is long, and just feel the deep of your belly as you stretch down into that left leg. Shoulders are wide, drawing down and away from your ears. How do you be really strong? How do you really connect into the whole of you and be connected and aware, embodied, present? You know, sometimes I wonder, how do I be, and how could I be in all of my skin? You know, how could I be in all of my toes or all of my fingers, and lengthening from the center of my spine or through the whole front of my body, the whole back of my body. Correct. Bend your left knee, squeeze it up towards you, hold on to it. And stretch the left leg long so it floats just above the floor. Left leg is long and strong, stretching outwards as you squeeze the left knee down, really deepening into your belly, stretching through that leg. Really letting yourself sink, soften, deepen. Super. Bend both knees, draw both knees towards you. Have your knees so they're as wide as your shoulders, and pull your knees down towards your shoulders. Your feet are engaged. And just pause there. Really feel like you're dropping into the deep of your hips. It's more or less the same shape as if you were squatting right now. So if you were squatting, there's that sense of your feet being on the floor. If you were squatting, your knees would be deeply bent, your hips would be deeply folded, your belly and your thighs would be in contact. So it's just a gentler, softer way of really deepening into the pelvic floor, into the lower back, into the amazing structures of the body. Just pulling your knees towards your shoulders. Knees are wide, your feet are wide. Steady, consistent pressure with your hands and really falling into the back of your body. Nice. And now bring your hands to the backs of your knees. So my hands are squished by the way the fold of the backs of my knees, and I just have my palms into the backs of my knees. Again, my knees are wide. And now pull your knees towards your shoulders and your hands are to the back of your knees. So if you feel like you can reach your feet, you can come into happy baby pose. That's where your palms come onto the soles of your feet. You can hold on to your ankles, or you can just keep holding on to the backs of your knees. So either backs of your knees, ankles, or bring your hands to the soles of your feet. And so soles of your feet might be just way, way, way far away. That's okay. But just see what's right for you and just settle in there, just drawing your knees wide, breathing into your belly. So you've heard my rant about squatting. You know, we should all be squatting, and you know, up until recently, you know, until sitting toilets, we would have been squatting a lot every day. We would be squatting, and so it's a very deep sense of our bodies changing because we don't squat, you know, 20 times a day or 10 times a day or whatever it is. It's really allowing a widening through the pelvis, a widening through the lower back. Nice. And then slowly stretch both legs up towards the ceiling. And just shake out through your legs. Shake it. A bit of a wiggle, a bit of a shake. And just open and close your toes a few times. Nice. So bring one foot to the floor, bring the other foot to the floor, and roll over onto your right side. Or it doesn't really matter which way you go, but roll over into your right side. And come all the way up into a cat position. So your hands are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips. And just begin to really round into the lower back and arch into the lower back. So you're lengthening the whole of your spine. And again, you're trying to listen to the spine, to your body as you round and as you arch. Often when we do this, there's the first few times we're just moving through the creakiness of ourselves. Or maybe you're not, maybe you're just delicious all the time. Just allow that as we move, things lengthen, things soften. Space happens as we move. Movement really creates a deep softening through the body. Nice. And then looking over your right shoulder, feel length through the left side of your waist. And then look over your left shoulder, feel length through the right side of your waist. And just do that a few times. You don't have to look behind you if you can find the stretch into your waist, or you can look behind you. Sometimes I just sway my whole torso from side to side. Really just, how do you feel a stretch into the opposite side of your waist because you're side bending? Just find it for you. It's like squeeze your shoulder and your hip together. Squeeze your shoulder and hip together. Nice. Come back one or two more times, rounding your back into a cat pose. And arching your back, lift your chest, look forward. Rounding your back. And arching. Nice. So bring your right foot to where your right knee is right now. So just bring your foot, so it's like your toes come to the floor. It's only your toes really that you can get down at the beginning. And then sit your bum back, so you're trying to bring your right heel to the floor, and your right knee has moved to the outside of your shoulder. So I've got my knee to the outside of my shoulder, and then rock forward until my right knee comes all the way down. And then rock back, right knee outside my shoulder. I sit my bum back towards the left heel. My right heel is landed, and then all the way forward, drop the right knee to the floor. Do it a few times, really hearing, what does this do to my spine and my hip? As you rock forward and backwards. How do you feel the deep of your belly, the deep of your spine? How do you connect through the length of you? Nice. Bring both knees together. Other side. Bring your left toes to where your left knee was. And then sit your bum back. Your knee goes to the outside of your shoulder. And then rock forward until your left knee comes to the floor. Rock back, left knee outside your shoulder. Sit back towards your right heel. And then rock forward. One more time. Rock back, bum back towards your right heel. Rock forward, knee down to the floor. Super. Bring your knee back. So if you look at the space between your right hand and your right knee, you're going to bring your right foot halfway between the two of them. So you're going to, it's like bring your foot halfway. It's like, yeah, it's halfway. It's like the easiest place for you to put your foot, more or less. And then bring your right hand to your right knee. And then for me, I love tucking my left toes under, but see which way your foot is more stable. And then slowly rise up, lifting up so that you've lifted up through the torso. And then bring your left hand straight in front of you. Feel like you're engaging your abdominal muscles, so draw your belly backwards and feel the sense of stabilizing where you are. And then looking forward, reach your left hand up towards the ceiling. And then bend your left elbow. And this time you're going to follow your hand as you reach up, look up. And bend your elbow, looking forward. And one more time, as you reach up, look up. Super. Keep looking, watching your hand. Slowly bring your left hand all the way forward until your fingertips touch the floor, way out in front of you. So now you're going to feel a stretch through the right buttock in a different way. And just lengthen into that. So really feel the right buttock stretching. Walk your fingers a little bit further forward if you wish. Your right hand is on your right knee. Left hand is long in front of you. Nice. Slide your left hand back, bring your right hand down, lift your left knee off the floor, stretch back into your half downward dog, so you're 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. You're kind of in a strange downward dog, half lungey thing. And just bend your knees, straighten your legs a little bit, bend your knees, straighten your legs a little bit. One more time, bend your knees, and straighten your legs. Step back into your downward dog, drop both knees down to the floor. Come rest for a moment into a child's pose. So all the way down, arms are long in front of you, belly is resting on your thighs. You get a sense of lengthening through the back of the body, rounding forward. And just feeling into them, almost a sense of the breath into your belly. So coming forward onto your hands and knees, bring your left foot to where your left, halfway between your left hand and your left knee, where your left knee was a second ago. From here, tuck your left foot, right foot under, bring your left hand to your left knee and rise up and find your stability, find your balance by really engaging the lower belly. And then reach your right hand straight up towards the ceiling, looking straight forward as you do so. And now bend your right elbow. And now follow your right hand up as you reach up, reaching from the deep of your belly, pushing down into that right foot as you rise. Bend your elbow. And again, reaching up, following with your head as you reach up. And then keep looking at your hand and slowly reach forward. As far forward as you can, bring your right fingers to the floor. Keep your left hand on your left knee. And just find that sense of length through the left buttock, and then all the way down through the right side of your body. Nice. Slide your hand back. Bring your other hand to the floor. Lift your right knee off to the floor into a half downward dog. And then bend your knees a little bit. Straighten your legs a little bit. Bend your knees a little bit. Straighten your legs a little bit. One more time. Bend your knees a little bit. Straighten your legs. Step back into your downward dog. And just pausing there for a moment or two, really pushing down into your hands, lengthening back through your legs, and just feel the whole of your body lengthening and stretching. Feel that connection from your feet down into your toes, into your calves, through the back of your legs, into your hands, down your arms, through the spine. Slowly begin to lower your knees down until they almost touch the floor. And then stretch back into your downward dog. Let your knees slowly lower down until they almost touch the floor. Stretch back, downward dog. One last time. Knees almost touch the floor, and then they touch the floor. Super. From here, sweep your feet over to the side and stretch your legs out long in front of you. So we're going to come into a cross-legged position. So if you find that your knees, your hips, your feet, your lower back, your bum, anything goes, oh, I don't like that really, then get a pillow, get a book, get a block, get a object of some kind to sit on. And then come into a cross-legged position with the left foot on the inside and the right foot on the outside. Nice. And just start by, we'll just let everyone settle first. So lovely. And then just roll your shoulders. And just feel that the collarbones moving, the shoulder blades gliding in the back of the body. And then roll in the other direction. Rolling. Rolling. Nice. Make fists out of your hands, rolling out through your hands. And then roll in the other direction. Hold on, I'm just going to change this. The sun was crazy earlier, so I just couldn't Couldn't be in it. Nice. Open your fingers wide. Make fists. Open your fingers wide. And make fists. Great. So reach both hands straight up towards the ceiling. And just get really tall through the sides of your body. So really feel so reach a little bit more through the right arm. And then reach a little bit more through the left arm. And get a sense of, oh, there's my side body. So a little bit more up through the right side. A little bit more up through the left side. Nice. And then reach through both, lengthening. And then drop the right arm down until your hand comes to the floor beside you. And then lean your left hand over towards the right, and then breathe deeply into the left side of your waist, left side of your rib cage. And as you inhale, get longer. And as you exhale, sink a bit deeper. As you inhale, get longer. As you exhale, sink. One more time. Inhaling longer. Exhaling, sink. Nice. Come all the way back up to center. Reach both arms up towards the ceiling. Long through both arms. And then lower the left arm down beside you. Let it come to the floor. Hand flat. And then lean your right arm over towards the left. As you inhale, get longer. As you exhale, sink into it. As you inhale, get longer. As you exhale, a little bit deeper. One more time. Inhale longer. And then coming all the way up. Reach both arms straight up towards the ceiling. Super. From here, bring your arms down until they're straight forward in front of your shoulders. And then twist towards the right side. Bring your left hand to your right knee. And then reach your right hand straight up towards the ceiling. Reach really long through the right arm. So the left hand is holding onto your right knee. So hold on really firmly to that right knee. And now you're going to dive with that right hand over towards your left shoulder. And so you're going side bending, but you're twisting and side bending at the same time. And then come back out, come all the way up, get longer. And then drop. It's almost like you're trying to drop your left shoulder down towards your left knee. And then come all the way back up. Last time, get longer. And then reach over towards the left with the right hand, almost like you're trying to drop your left shoulder to your left knee. Come all the way back. Bend your right elbow, bring it down. And then reach your right hand behind you and twist towards the right with your chest. Breathing deeply into your belly. Super, release. Reach both arms forward in front of you. Lean back, release out through your ankles. Maybe have one foot on the floor, then the other foot, or let both feet float and just roll out through your ankles. I love it. Stretch one leg. Stretch the other leg. Lovely. Cool. I love it. Legs in the air all over the place there. And now bring the right foot on the inside, left foot on the outside. Super. Reach both hands forward in front of you. Reach both arms up towards the ceiling. Get longer through the sides of your body. And then lower the right hand down to the right side and lean over towards the right with the left arm. And get longer. Really feel. You can turn your head a little bit towards the left. You can turn it way towards the left. You can look down towards the floor. It doesn't really matter. The main thing is that your neck feels comfortable. For me, straightforward is always the most comfortable place for my neck. Nice. Come all the way back up. Stretch the right arm up towards the ceiling. Drop the left arm down, leaning towards the left with the right arm. Creating length, creating space. All the way up. Both arms rise. Drop both arms straight down in front of you. From here, twist both hands over towards the left. Bring your right hand to your left knee. Reach the left hand up towards the ceiling. So we're going to drop in and out a few times. So reach the left hand up and then drop your right shoulder down towards your right knee. And then come back up to center. And then dive. Right shoulder down towards the right knee. Lifting the left arm over. All the way back up. One last time. Reaching. dive, come all the way back, bend the left elbow, bring it down, and then reach the left hand behind you and twist a bit deeper towards the left. And release. Nice. Stretch out through your legs, just move them a bit. One leg, other leg, both legs. And let them wiggle. So sweet. Stretch both legs long in front of you. And then reach both hands forward. And we're going to draw the right elbow back like lawnmower. So that's where your fist comes to land beside your rib cage and you've pulled your right elbow way back. And your hand is in a fist. I'm going to reach your right hand forward. And then draw the left elbow back. And it's almost like you're pulling something deeply and your hand comes to rest beside your chest. And then let your hand float forward, reach forward. Make a fist out of your right hand. Pull it back like a lawnmower. Really feel like you're pulling. Your elbow comes back. And then let your fingers open. Let your hand sweep forward or float forward. Make a fist out of your left hand and pull it back like a lawnmower. Feel that pulling, that deep sense of drawing backwards. And forward. We're going to try a double lawnmower. So make fists out of both hands and then pull both elbows back and really feel your chest opening, your shoulders widening. Your elbows are really squeezing back behind you. And then release and let your fingers float forward, reach forward. Last time, make fists out of your hands, pull your elbows back. Hands come to rest near your chest and your elbows are squeezing together and they're opening backwards. And then let your fingers float forward and lengthen. Nice. And bring your fingers either side of your thighs, bend your knees so your feet, there's a little bit of space between your feet. And then you don't feel like you're being pushed backwards or your feet are flat on the floor. And now wrap your arms around your knees and just drop your head down between your knees. And how would you soften into the back of your neck? How would you really widen into the space between your vertebrae? Imagine that every time you inhale that you can create length through the back of your neck, and then every time you exhale you can fall a bit deeper towards the floor. Really feeling into, deepening into the sensation of the back of your neck, the back of your shoulders. Nice. Slowly coming up. Wrap your elbow, bring your feet a little bit closer maybe, wrap your elbows around your knees. And then sit up tall, pull on your knees and sit up really tall, like you're super tall and long. And then slowly turn your head towards the left. And come back to center. And turn your head towards the right. And back to center. Drop your ear down towards the left. Back to center. And drop your ear down towards the right. And back to center. Tuck your chin in like you're trying to look at something on your chest. So it's like double chin territory. And then come to center. And then stick your chin so far out that you're really trying to like stick your chin further forward than your hands. And then lift your chin up and look up. So it's you should feel like a stretch through the front of that double chin area that you just squished a moment ago. And then keep your chin forward and then tuck it way in. Nice. Just drop your knees wide, last movement. Holding on to your ankles, soles of your feet are together. Pull on your shins and sit up really tall. And let your breath drop into your belly. You have a sense of deep belly. Breath is down into your belly. You're getting taller. There's a sense of as you pull on your hands that your shoulders are widening. It's like I feel like the branches of my arms are growing from the earth of my chest. It's like, how do you really grow longer arms as you lengthen through the top of your head, as you kind of create this resistance with your hands. Nice. And then round your back, bending your elbows. Imagine that your forehead can come all the way down towards your toes. And then rising up. Lift through the spine, get taller again. Tuck your chin in, draw your forehead down towards your toes. And rising up, get taller. This time lean back and look up. Nice, and again, rounding your back to bring your forehead down to your toes in that direction. And as you rise, lean back and look up and really open through the front of your chest. Leaning upwards through the chest. It's like you're trying to inflate your chest forward. And then coming to neutral. Nice. Stretch your legs out long in front of you. Come to the front of your mat. And then as you roll back, just let your feet lift as you roll backwards and land backwards onto the floor. Just pausing there, feeling that awesome moment of floorness. It's always so beautiful. It's like, wow, what an amazing thing. And then just gently rock a little bit from side to side. So just having a sense of the weight of the back of your body, how it travels across the back of you. Nice, and then bring both feet to the floor. And again, just let your knees gently sway in one direction. So it's not quite twisting. It's more like just let them sway on the wind gently from side to side. It's like maybe a half or a third of what a twist usually is. So it's like you're just massaging out through the sides of your buttocks, the sides of your hips. You're just feeling the weight through the back of the body more so than it then traveling into the rib cage. Nice. Last movement, flatten down and arch into your belly. So very first movement, very last movement, and you see if you can be like delicious like honey through the lower back and then arching deep and full into your belly. And just notice how do you move into the back of your body as you arch and as you flatten. One more time. Arching and flattening. Super. So either keep your knees bent or stretch your legs long, or get a blanket, put a pillow under your knees, put a bolster or something underneath the back of your head, lie on your side, really see what you would love for a relaxation. And again, be kind, you know. What would be the kindest thing you could do right now? And just allow that to be. Make that choice for yourself. And then just feel the floor beneath you as you settle. You get a sense of the work, the yum of the back of your body, the weight of the back of your body, the places that we've moved, how we've connected. And as you inhale, as you exhale, what is the softest breath you can make? Maybe this amazing trick I was told once, try listening to the smallest sound around you, and naturally our breath becomes very still. So let's just listen. What is the softest sound we can hear? That little squeaking noise is Mr. Guinea Fowl. He's such a wonderful pet. Kind of runs around and squeaks a lot. He's very lovely. And so as you rest here, as you pause here, as you deepen into the floor, notice the movement, that even though we're listening to silence, there's this then connection to the movement of us. So what moves in you? Can you feel the breath moving, the blood moving, the nervous system information moving in every direction, up and down? So there's information traveling up into the head, and there's all this nervous system information traveling down. Now, how do you feel all of that right now? And can you feel the tips of your fingers? So that information at the tips of your fingers is traveling all the way up. It's a one nerve. The sensory nerves are one nerve. They travel from the tip of your finger all the way up into a synapse in the spine. And same thing with the tip of your toes. That's one huge long nerve that travels all the way up. And so feeling into the tips of your toes, into the tips of your fingers, into the edges of you is such a beautiful thing. Mapping the space of you. Can you really take your space? Can you expand? Can you soften? Can you widen into the whole of you right now? Wonderful. So just taking a longer, deeper breath. Begin to stretch down into your fingers and reach long into your arms, into your feet. And just find that awakening stretch, that yawning stretch. And slowly either drawing your knees up or rocking your knees over. Or do whatever it is that you do to slowly begin to emerge. I love the feet in the air. Yeah. That's so sweet. Lovely. Nice. And slowly, just emerging, arising.